James Chen wiped the sweat from his forehead as he pushed the industrial mop across the sterile floors of the Lunar Commerce Station's loading bay. 37 years old, and he was still cleaning up other people's messes. The irony wasn't lost on him. He'd once dreamed of exploring the stars, but life had other plans. His mother's medical bills, his sister's education, responsibilities that kept him grounded while others soared. The communication terminal on his wrist buzzed with an unusual frequency pattern. James frowned. Nobody called him during night shifts. The holographic display flickered to life, revealing not a human face, but something far more unexpected, a message from a law firm on Proxima Station. Mr. James Chen, you are hereby notified that you are the sole beneficiary of the estate of Thoraxi Velmoth, recently deceased. Please report to our offices within 7 standard days to claim your inheritance. James stood frozen, mop still in hand. Thoraxi, a name he hadn't heard in 25 years. A name that brought back memories of a small, iridescent alien boy who'd lived next door during his childhood in the Manchester colony settlement. They'd been inseparable for 3 years before Thoraxi's family had returned to their homeworld. The journey to Proxima Station drained what little savings James had, but something, curiosity, nostalgia, perhaps fate, compelled him to go. The law office was impossibly sleek, staffed by beings from a dozen different species. The Centaurian lawyer, her 4 eyes blinking in sequence, presented him with a data crystal. Your friend was quite wealthy. Mr. Chen, she explained, her translator rendering her clicks into perfect English. He left specific instructions. Everything goes to you. Everything? James repeated numbly. The Starship Eternal Wing, Docking Bay 47, and... She paused, her expression unreadable. 3 Draconite marriage contracts, fully legal under interstellar law, already signed and sealed by Thoraxi before his death. The Draconite females are awaiting your arrival. James felt the world tilt. I'm sorry, what? 3 hours later, James stood in Docking Bay 47, staring at a vessel that defied his comprehension. The Eternal Wing was enormous, easily 300 meters of gleaming metal and energy fields worth more than he'd earn in 1,000 lifetimes. And standing before the boarding ramp were 3 figures that made his breath catch. They were humanoid but undeniably alien. Scales that shimmered between emerald, sapphire, and ruby adorned their skin in elegant patterns. Their eyes were vertical-slitted, intelligent, and currently fixed on him with varying expressions. Horns curved gracefully from their temples, and when they moved, there was a fluid grace that suggested immense power held in perfect control. The tallest, with emerald scales, stepped forward. You are James Chen? Her voice was melodic but carried authority. I am Orla Velshar, First Wing. These are my wing sisters, Lyris and Zena. Yes, I'm James, but there's been some mistake. I'm just a janitor. I can't... There is no mistake, Orla interrupted, her golden eyes studying him intently. Thoraxi chose you specifically. He spoke of you often, the human boy who defended him when colony children mocked his appearance. The boy who shared his lunch every day because he noticed Thoraxi's family struggled. The boy who saw him as a person, not an alien, James remembered. He remembered skinny little Thoraxi, always too quiet, always alone until James had sat beside him one day at lunch. But marriage, James managed. I didn't agree to. The contracts are not what humans would call romantic marriage. Zena, the ruby-scaled one, spoke up. Her voice was gentler. Among Draconites, marriage bonds are about loyalty, family, and duty. Thoraxi had no blood heirs. He chose you as his brother in spirit, and by our law his wives transfer to his chosen successor. We are warriors, Mr. Chen, Lyris added, her sapphire scales catching the station's lights. Protectors. The Eternal Wing requires a crew of 4 minimum. Thoraxi served as captain and navigator. He has provided you with neural training modules to learn these skills. We handle weapons, shields, and engines. James looked at the 3 formidable beings before him, then at the magnificent ship, then down at his stained janitor's uniform. The absurdity of it all should have made him laugh or cry. Instead, he thought of his tiny apartment, his dead-end job, his life of quiet desperation. Why me? He finally asked. Thoraxi must have had other friends, more qualified people. Orla's expression softened almost imperceptibly. He left you a message. Would you like to hear it? She activated a small device, and suddenly, Thoraxi's adult form appeared as a hologram. Still small by human standards, but dignified, successful, so different from the scared child James had known. "James, my friend," the hologram spoke. "If you are seeing this, I am gone. The cancer was aggressive, and draconite medicine could not save me. I made my fortune, yes, but I never forgot the boy who showed me that kindness exists in the universe. You gave without expecting return. You protected the weak. These are the qualities of a true captain. My wives are warriors of honor. They will serve you loyally if you treat them with respect. The galaxy is vast and dangerous, James. It needs more people like you among the stars. Please accept this gift. Live the dream we once shared as children. Explore, discover, and know that somewhere, in whatever comes after, I will smile knowing you are finally flying free." The hologram faded. James found his vision blurring with tears. Around him, the 3 draconites waited in respectful silence. Finally, James wiped his eyes and straightened his shoulders. He looked at Orla, then at Lyris and Xena. "I don't know the first thing about commanding a starship or being part of a draconite family unit." Orla's lips curved into something that might have been a smile. "Then we will teach you, Captain Chen. That is what wing families do." James took a deep breath and extended his hand. After a moment's hesitation, Orla clasped it, her grip firm and warm, her scales surprisingly smooth against his skin. "Well then," James said, surprising himself with the steadiness in his voice, "I suppose we should see what this ship can do. And someone needs to explain these marriage contracts in detail, because I have a lot of questions." As they walked up the boarding ramp together, James Chen, former janitor, inheritor of impossible dreams, felt something he hadn't experienced in years: hope. The universe had just become infinitely larger, and somehow, impossibly, he was ready to explore it. Behind them, the eternal wing hummed to life, ready to carry its new captain toward adventures unknown.